On a cold morning, Moscow was quietly waking beneath its blanket of snow. As the iron gates of the Kremlin creaked open, no one noticed the lone man stepping outside. He wore a dark coat. His face was familiar, yet no one paid him any attention today. Vladimir Putin had chosen to walk alone that morning. No cars, no guards. His steps were firm but slow, as if each footstep took him closer to the past. Inside his mind, a silent echo lingered. A cry from long ago, a voice from beneath the rubble. A child's voice, 1995, Grozny. The air smelled of dust and smoke. Screams were trapped in the streets. Putin stood in front of a bombed-out building. Beneath the bulletproof vest weighing on his chest, his heart pounded with an unfamiliar pain. Beside him, from under the collapsed concrete, a faint sound emerged. A child's voice, weak arms reaching through blood-stained hands. A tiny body, bright blonde hair, huge eyes, a dirt-streaked face. Time stopped. Putin lifted the child into his arms. "What's your name?" he asked, his voice shaking. "Ivan," the boy said. "Where's my mom?" He couldn't answer, because he didn't know. Ivan was brought to Moscow. The best doctors, private care, a room filled with teddy bears and warm milk. But at night, he kept crying. Every scream echoed inside Vladimir's mind. For 3 months, he visited nearly every day, sat silently beside him, sometimes reading stories, sometimes just waiting. But war doesn't only break bodies, it breaks souls. And some souls, no matter how much you try, cannot be fixed. One morning, Ivan didn't wake up. When the nurse bowed her head, everything was understood. Putin entered the room and took the boy's stuffed bear from beside the bed. That day, no one saw his face. It's only said that, in that room, no one spoke for a long time. Years passed. Vladimir Putin led a nation. He slammed his fist on tables, made decisions, sent armies, attended summits. But whenever he heard a child's voice, he hesitated. No one knew why. But every morning, during his walks, he stopped by a small, hidden cemetery behind the Kremlin. A quiet corner where children were buried. Every time, he took out a small notebook from his coat, scribbled a few lines, and continued walking. One day, the wind turned the pages, and a caretaker picked up a paper that had fallen to the ground. It read, "Dear Ivan, another decision against war was made today. I didn't write your name, but I placed your spirit between the lines. You stayed silent, and I learned. Perhaps one day, for other children to speak, a leader must remain silent." This story was never known, but some stories don't need to be heard to change the world. Because sometimes, the course of a country isn't set by generals, but by the eyes of a child. True heroism is not fighting with bullets, but with conscience. This story was written in memory of a forgotten child.